Hi, hello Internet. This is Jack Great VT, your knight in not so shining armor. And having finally finished up Fire Emblem last time, now we move on to a new game, Doom, the 1993 edition anyway. Originally released on, well, at least in 1993 for DOS and Microsoft Windows, before eventually getting ports to quite literally everything from Super Nintendo port to Sega 32X port to PlayStation 1 port to Atari Jaguar port to people finding ways to play it on like the ZX Spectrum and even a pregnancy machine or something or other, which quite a miracle of technology that is. But does Doom really need an introduction? It's one of the all-time greats of first-person shooters before Call of Duty came in and kind of saturated the market to the point of ridiculousness. But in terms of early first-person shooters, this one probably had the most influence. People like to cite Wolfenstein 3D as the great granddaddy of first-person shooters, even though that's technically not true either, because before before Wolfenstein 3D, there was even from id Software games like Catacomb 3D and Hover Tank 3D, each of which kind of builds up on the other to eventually lead us to Doom. Anyway, and then it comes out and it gets installed on more computers than even Windows, which is insane to think about, given that every computer basically comes with a version of Windows nowadays. But given that Microsoft now owns id Software, I guess Bill Gates ultimately got the last laugh. And I'm going to be playing this through the Doom plus Doom 2. Yeah, Doom 1 plus 2, because that's how games get released nowadays, through my Nintendo Switch 2. Mainly because I don't have quite figured out how to record directly from my PC yet. Also picking Doom instead of likes of Wolfenstein 3D because Wolfenstein has a lot of no symbolism that would probably get flagged and therefore uh, probably would get in trouble for that. And even though, again, I don't know how to record directly from my PC through the Streamlabs stuff. But this game also caused its own controversy because of all of it didn't have, Nazi symbolism, but it had satanic symbolism, which caused a lot of people to be outraged, even though you're basically a one-man crusade through the forces of hell, against the forces of hell. That sounds pretty Christian to me. In fact, one of the developers, Sandy Peterson, is apparently a member of the Mormon Church, and he said that he's worked on, Doom and Doom 2, and he says it doesn't bother him at all that you know you're basically fighting the forces of hell. It makes perfect sense, honestly. But let's boot this up here. So here, let's do two photosensitivity warnings, which whatever. We have the cover art for Doom and Doom 2, but this this collection actually has quite a few beyond just the original and Doom 2 Hell on Earth. It also has the master levels for Doom 2, which was basically officially licensed, fan levels that were packaged together and sold. Because Doom was one of the first games to have a huge modding scene because the game was, extremely easy to modify based on, how it was designed. Then in like 97 or 98, it actually put the source code on the internet, which just made making mods even easier. Where there's basically more mods than anyone can count. The only game I can think of that even comes close in terms of the number of mods would be something like Minecraft. And even that probably doesn't. And even then, Doom probably has more just due to the fact that it started earlier. And then we have, and this here also, TNT Evolution and the Plutonia Experiment, aka Final Doom. And for a while, that was basically the end of quote unquote classic Doom. But this also has a few other quote unquote episodes, basically made by Doom co creator John Romero. See, here we have No Rest for the Living in 2010, Sigil in 2019, Sigil 2 in 2023 at Romero.com there. You can see on that. And finally, Legacy of Rust in 2024. All of this making up what I call classic Doom. And then Doom 2016 setting up what I would call modern Doom, which would lead into, Doom Eternal and Doom the Dark Ages. Meanwhile, we have Doom 64 and Doom 3 as kind of the black sheep of the series, and that they kind of don't really, they kind of stand out on their own, and not necessarily in a good way, but for now we're just going to focus on the original Doom and its 4 episodes. Because the way Doom originally was sold was as shareware, which was apparently a way games were sold on PC back in the day, where the first episode would be available as a free download, and after completing it, it would basically give you a message saying, send, information to this mail in or phone this number to receive to pay for the other parts of the game. That was also how Wolfenstein got off the ground. But anyway, if we look at the text here, it basically kind of tells us the basic story of Doom, what little it has. Let's see. Yes, in Doom, you're a space marine, one of Earth's toughest, hardened in combat and trained for action. 3 years ago, you assaulted a superior officer for ordering his soldiers to fire upon civilians. He and his body cast were shipped to Pearl Harbor, while you were transferred to Mars, home of the Union Aerospace Corporation, aka SpaceX in 100 years. The UAC is a multi-planetary conglomerate with radioactive waste facilities on Mars, and its 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos. With no action for 50 million miles, your day consisted of sucking dust and watching restricted flicks in the rec room, such as Alien Autopsy and Illegal Alien Autopsy. Anyway, this began the story of Doom, which started an instant revolution. Originally released as shareware, like I said, shareware. Knee Deep in the Dead, aka the first episode, was highly awaited by early internet users eagerly awaiting for its software to upload the first episode of the game. Word spread, along with copies on floppy disks, aka the save icon, and hundreds of thousands of copies were sold directly through its software in the first years of the game's life. The 4th episode, Thy Flesh Consumed, was released in 1995 when Doom made its retail debut, as well as a free upgrade for users who already owned the game. These 9 levels were an extra challenge for players who blasted through the original game. So yeah, basically, Thy Flesh Consumed effectively count as like DLC or expansion packs. Things people complain about on the likes of modern consoles now, but yeah, it didn't. The whole DLC / expansion, whatever, did not begin with Oblivion's infamous horse armor. It technically existed on PC for at least a decade beforehand. But yeah, that's the basic plot for Doom, and what we're going through here. The story is very basic, even though there really is no need to have a story. I believe it was John Carmack himself who supposedly said the quote, story in a video game is like story in a porno. It's expected to be there, but it's not that important. And honestly, I don't think most people would have even paid attention to any story in this anyway. Because Wolfenstein 3D, you're basically a prisoner of war escaping through a Nazi compound, which even by 1992 is kind of cliche, given that TV, movies, and books have been doing that for basically 40 plus years at that point anyway. But this one is much more fantastical because it's, well, demons. Even though if you look into the origins of the Nazi Party, they have some occult stuff to them as well. But apparently the main idea for Doom came about where the guys that did software were apparently playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons, because, you know, nerds. And one game apparently ended with the forces of hell just kind of emerging from a portal and running amok through the game. But anyway, let's start it up here. We have single player, multiplayer. That's going to be a bonus episode or something at the end. Maybe even see about doing some collabs with people, assuming that you know, cross play or whatever is a thing here. There's mods. Unfortunately, I don't have any mods here, and I don't have a thing for Bethesda.net, so that's not an option. We have the id Vault here, which is kind of nice because it shows off various things here, including you know, early renditions of things and even some prototype stuff here, like this here, the Banshee. Let's see, an unusual creature found among early Doom texture assets. Though the original intent has been lost to time, these sprites were reused as the new Banshee enemy in the Legacy of Rust expansion. Yeah, that's pretty cool that some of this stuff that didn't make it in the game originally later got put into stuff, mainly in the form of the Legacy of Rust expansion. So up here, the Blob, a cut monster. This ugly fellow would be found attached to walls in the map, spawning lost souls. This concept would later resurface in Doom 2 as the Pain Elemental, which reuses some of the Blob and its attack sprites. See here for the full rotations of the former human, aka Zombie Man. Jib animation. For former sergeant, the shotgunner, imps, some alternate jib frames. That's pretty gruesome, honestly. And of course, the Pinky Demon. An alternate death animation for the Pinky Demon appeared to violently explode. Ouch. Yeah, no shit. Here, a beta lost soul. Famously featured in Doom press release beta as a fully functional monster which utilized a psychic attack instead of the final game's charging attack. These sprites were used for the new Google enemy in Legacy of Rust. Again, that's another thing that later got changed to and reused later on. That psychic attack, it's good that it changed because the way attacks work in this game, the psychic attack would be kind of broken and not in a good way. There's monsters, weapons, early BFG, aka the big fucking gun. Let's see, the front of the weapon more closely resembles the toy gun that was photographed to make this weapon. Yeah, I bet you didn't know it was originally based on a toy gun. Chain gun, unseen lower portion. Interesting because some of this stuff got cropped out later, but we'll get to that later on. Pistol, plasma rifle, rocket launcher. Apparently the Alpha had a bayonet and some kind of rifle. Some unused and unknown weapon, later used as the basis for the incinerator in Legacy of Rust. An unknown, unused sprite space labeled gun.lbm. It's anyone's guess what this was meant to be used for. I don't know, but it's kind of cool that it shows stuff like this here. See, variations of ammo, health bonuses, large bonuses, health and armor. Yeah, we can actually look at this stuff here. Apparently the armor had boots as well. And this one here, I don't think I can... Wait, let me bring up my... Yeah. This one here is actually the med kit that was used in Wolfenstein 3D. Probably just a placeholder while they worked on the actual one. Pay attention to how there's a red cross on there, because originally the health items had a red cross on them, but apparently there's some international laws where using that for like commercial purpose is actually like a big no-no. Because in the BFG edition of Doom, they changed it to a red and white pill, and then for the port released in Unity, they changed it to a green plus instead, so they could keep the same design, but not actually like infringe on any kind of law. Here we have select treasures, score items. See, treasure items that would increase your score counter, a la Wolfenstein 3D. These are featured in the press release, but were removed along with the score system. Some soul jar thingy. Early pickup sprites. A red hand. This set made for the Dark Claw weapon mentioned in the Doom Bible. Yeah, there was a Doom Bible that was supposed to be basically a giant lore dump for this game, but for the most part, that stuff kind of got left out, and only a couple things were left in the game. Only a couple things were left in it. Now we have input, controller, vibration. I think I'll turn that off. Gyro aiming. Always run and unlock all cheats. Change the crosshair, ranging from a little dot to that. For the sake of minimalism and so I can actually see it, I'm going with number 1. I'm not going to adjust the size really. Just going to keep it at what it was there. Border, I don't think that does anything. Also unlock cheats, but that could be like a bonus thing. Let's see, MIDI synth, off, remix, originals. Turn it off, which is funny. Display, accessibility, language, credits, Bethesda. Achievements we have here. Guns are for wusses. Get 25 kills with your fists in a single level, which I can tell because it's colored in that I did that. Until it is done, 100 chainsaw kills. Shoot it till it dies. Finish off the cyber demon with a pistol. I've kind of done some of these. I don't intend to go out of my way to do them, but there they are. Personally, I don't really like achievements in video games because some of them just kind of are just kind of like, what's the point? Like here, reach the end of Doom. Isn't that what we're kind of doing anyway? You know, that's the thing about retro games, was beating it was its own reward. We didn't need to do stuff like finding a or complete any monster-filled level with 100% kills without getting hurt on ultra violence or higher. Kill one of every enemy. kind of happens anyway. And there's change game if we want to swap to something else, but yeah, again, we're stick with Doom. Single player. Funny enough, we can just level select whatever you want if you want to just kind of screw around. But for now, we're just going to start a new game. We have Episode 1, Knee Deep in the Dead, The Shores of Hell, Inferno, and Thy Flesh Consumed. I'm going to start with Knee Deep in the Dead. Skill levels. I'm Too Young to Die, Hey Not Too Rough, Hurt Me Plenty, Ultraviolence, and Nightmare. We're gonna... What was that? Whatever. Anyway, we're gonna play on Ultraviolence. That's effectively the hard mode. Though Nightmare is... as it is actually a nightmare. But, I'm not that good at Doom to play to figure that one out. So we're gonna stick with Ultraviolence. And here we are. We are the Doom guy, or Doom Slayer as he became known later. Have health bonuses and armor bonuses. First, take out these shotgunners and get the shotgun. Plug these guys full of holes. Up here we had the regular armor, which... see there, the armor rating there. Regular armor gives you 100% and reduces damage by 1/3. Have health, 82%. Starts at 100. Ammunition. Whenever we start a level, or whenever we first start an episode, or restart after dying, we start with a pistol and 50 bullets. I kind of see behind me the ammo cache here, or the ammo listings, where we have bullets, shells, rockets, and energy cells. Let me move myself a little bit here to... let me shrink down a bit and side here. Let's see, we can hold 200 bullets, 50 shotgun shells, 50 rockets, and 300 energy cells. But we'll get to that in a second. We also have exploding barrels. If you shoot at them enough times, they'll explode. Duh. And if you notice where the crosshair goes from green to yellow, that basically means you're shooting directly at your target. With the pistol, there's... the way it works is the first shot always goes dead center. If you hold it down, though, you get a bit of a spread in terms of where the bullets go. So the preferred strategy is to actually just tap the shoot button so that your first shot will always be... the shots will always be dead center. That's kind of pointless information, though, because once you get something better, you'll basically never go back to the pistol. And we also have the fist for a melee attack, and whenever you run out of ammunition. Funny thing about this, when I was a kid and I first played Doom, yeah, I was like 7 years old or something playing Doom. The PS1 version specifically, but whenever I switched to the fist, it always looked kind of weird to me, the hand, because when you activate it, you can see Doom Guy has like a brass knuckles, but when he doesn't, he has a handout that, to me, this part here look kind of like claws or like a pig's hoof or something, because I can only see these two parts here. Because the HUD here is kind of obscuring the sprite a bit. If you took that away, you could see the thumb that makes up the hand as well. And in higher resolution, I can also see, the ring finger over here. I don't know, it looked very weird to me, and as a kid, I was a weird one with a lot of imagination. But yeah, we have the fist, we have the pistol, and we picked up the shotgun from the shotgun guys. So let's move on here. These guys are hit scanners, so it's kind of can't really dodge their attacks. Which is really the only thing going for them, because these guys are pushovers. Basically, one shotgun blast will almost always kill them, unless you're, like, really far away, and I'm low on health. You can see Doom Guy's face is getting very bloody. Which, that actually came from Wolfenstein 3D, the basic HUD here, where it would show ammunition, health, and face for BJ Blazkowicz from in Wolfenstein. Ugh. I'm almost dead, but it's okay. We'll fix that. Ugh. But yeah, this basically borrowed a whole lot of stuff from Wolfenstein 3D, and I'm kind of going to go over some of the differences here. For one, here, stuff like these stairways and different shaped rooms. In Wolfenstein 3D, rooms were all square-shaped, and there was only one height, so there wasn't like stairs or ledges or anything like that. Also, if you can see how, as I move, the gun sways back and forth. In Wolfenstein 3D, it was a static image. It didn't move at all. Also in Wolfenstein 3D, there was no armor. There was no armor listing. Instead, it would list like a score function, like an arcade game. As well as lives, because you had a limited number of lives. But for Doom, they basically give you infinite lives in a sense. Whenever you die, you just go back to whatever stage you were on with the pistol and 50 bullets. Right, we have also we see here these animated floors, usually toxic waste, but basically it hurts you if you walk on it, so don't do that. And I found a secret box of bullets. Yeah, like I said here, we're originally that plus was red, but because the Red Cross is kind of like a international thingy-majiggy, they changed it in later versions to avoid any kind of problems. But that's a medikit that will replenish 25 health. And because I was low on health, when I picked it up, it said, picked up a medikit that you really need. Oh, and shotgun shells. And in that pool of toxic waste is the Mega Armor. Picking that up puts our armor at 200% and reduces damage by half. I'm gonna hold on to that until the end of the stage, which is actually right behind his door. Ugh. Ugh. Right. Yep, another medikit. Health bonuses are... The health and armor bonuses boost health and armor by 1. Medikit boosts it by 25. There's also a stim pack that boosts it by 10, or health by 10. which is right there. This is the end of the level, but we're not done yet because there's always goodies to find hidden. See how this was sitting up high, but now it's down low? It's a secret. Blow him away. Okay. I think there's supposed to be something here. I forget how we access this, but wait, there's a box of shells that's they're small and large ammo pickups. For the shotgun shells, small ones are 4, boxes are 20. Fortunately, I'm at the max amount, so I can't really pick those up. But let's go back and pick up the mega armor here. 200 armor and damage reduced by half now, which is good because we're going to need all we can get. There's also a little vector graphics style map here, which can show, up in the corner it shows enemies killed, items picked up, and secrets found. The item pickups are a little odd because not everything counts. Some things count and others don't. Okay, we're gonna go in here with 76% health and 200 armor, which that's fine. Blow up that barrel. You can see exit. Also, another thing here that was different from Wolfenstein, ambient lighting. See here how the lights are flashing and how some of these areas are darker than others? Yeah, that was added in Doom. In Wolfenstein, all rooms are the same lighting, and it's easy to see what's going on. Now we finished the hangar. 100% kills, 78% items, 66% secrets. Time of 11 minutes, though most of that I'm just explaining stuff. The par time is 30 seconds, in case you need a clue as to how quick you can go through some of this stuff. And then we have this little map here that taking place on Phobos, one of the Martian moons. See here, we're now entering the nuclear plant. Let's take these guys down. Yeah, these zombie men are complete pushovers. They have 20 health, so basically anything puts them down in basically one shot. Also, they fire effectively the same kind of bullets as the pistol, even though they don't actually drop a pistol. But when you defeat them, they drop a clip, which is, I believe, 5 health or 5 bullets when you pick it up from an enemy, 10 when you pick it up from, a random pickup. And before anyone says, yes, I know, it's actually a magazine. Yeah, whatever. So are magazines actually supposed to be clips? Instead of Time magazine, is it Time clip? Is there something here that we're not seeing? I don't know. Pick that up. And over there we have the backpack full of ammo. Now the backpack not only gives us a little bit of ammunition, but it also doubles our ammo count, or doubles how much ammo we can pick up. Because I picked it up, we can now hold 400 bullets, 100 shotgun shells, 100 rockets, and 600 energy cells. which is good because you're going to need all you can get a hold of. Also, unlike other power-ups that are either timed to a level or run on a timer, the backpack does not run out. I mean, if you die, it'll disappear, but otherwise it will remain for the remainder of the episode. So that's good. Just look around here for different stuff. Yeah, these things here are signify we need a key. And if we wall hump, it'll say we need a red key to open this door. Wolfenstein had something like that where it was a silver and a gold key. But here they're red, blue, and yellow key cards. Yeah, these brown bastards are imps. Basically, arguably the most common enemy in this game, arguably. They have a melee attack where they'll claw you, and they throw a fireball that you can just strafe around. And there's the red key. Health bonuses. I come out here. That switch I flipped in the room with the backpack. Open this up. We have shotgunners out here as well, who are basically like the zombie men, except they use shotguns, which can really hurt at close range. But they're not much tougher than the zombie men, really. Zombie men have 20 hit points, shotgunners have 30, imps have 60. We have the chain gun. This blue thing here is basically a soul sphere. When you pick it up, it says supercharge, and it gives you 100% health up to 200. Fun fact, in the beta version, it functioned as an extra life. If you look up early versions of, early screenshots of Doom in its early development, there would be like a little number icon next to Doom Guy's face that would show how many lives he had left. Chain gun lets us use up those bullets in a better way than the pistol does. Hello, TJCLS. What's up? How you doing? Just kind of going over this stuff here, even though, given Doom's been around for 30 years and it's a, first-person shooter, I think everybody theoretically knows how it functions, but, there's always that case where people who've never actually played a game might be confused by how some of this stuff works. Because I've seen online where I'll be like, 20-year-old Zoomer plays Doom for the first time, or some other game from the 90s or early 2000s that people my age and older have been playing since we're like 7, that they have no clue about. What is the father of PC gaming? Speedrunning, FPS, graphics, deathmatch. Yeah, it did coin the term deathmatch in the multiplayer, though technically there were other games, there were other FPS games that had multiplayer functions, even if they weren't specifically called deathmatches. Earlier I mentioned how before Doom there was Wolfenstein 3D, and before that there was even games like, there was a Catacomb 3D and Hover Tank 3D. And even before that, there was a game called Midi Maze, or Faceball 2000, depending on, what system you're playing it on, that had an early version of multiplayer, or early version of deathmatch, even if it wasn't specifically referred to as such. And the chain gun here, basically, it stun locks most enemies. The manual even describes it as doing the chain gun cha-cha, because of how enemies get stun locked when you use it. Though the real workhorse is the shotgun. Now, so here we have the box of bullets. That's 50 total. On I'm Too Young to Die and Nightmare difficulties, ammo pickups are double, so it would be 100 on those settings. Let's see, map. I know there's something else in here. I'm trying to find it. I hear something making a sound. Oh! I woke up something. Oh. Okay, get... Scatter him. Let's see, I'm LR, I'm just browsing streams, waiting for any personal top 20 games list he has played. Just gonna download and try them. Oh, that's cool. Before playing Doom, I was doing Fire Emblem, which I never played before. It was okay. I mean, typically when I do these kind of streams, I kind of like to do games that I've played a lot of, because I like to point out, you know, certain secrets or fun facts, or make certain jokes that people may not know about. Let's see, where's the map here? I don't know. Kind of easy to get a little lost in these places because of, well, the darkness, which is part of the fun, though, because that darkness makes things a little scarier when you don't know exactly what's coming around the corner, and then you get jump scared by an enemy, and before you know it, you're scrambling trying to figure out what's attacking you from where before it kills you. But I know there's supposed to be something somewhere here. I don't know if I have to flip a switch or just... Oh, yep. Oh, found a secret area. Let's see, he's really interesting. He's used to open world cozy games. Yeah, that's... Yep, this is quite the contrast from something like Animal Crossing, which is why the, you know, Doom Crossing Eternal Horizons meme took off in 2020. Because Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons both dropped on the same day. And they're complete opposite ends of the spectrum. One is basically a one-man crusade against, you know, the ever-encroaching forces of evil. And the other is Doom. Oh. Okay, I think that was... No, I know there's something else I need to find. Let's just hump the walls here. Oh. Okay, there's... Yeah, there's a chainsaw up there. I forget exactly how I get up there, though. But I know there's a way there. Just gotta remember where I find it. I think I just gotta do a whole buttload of wall humping until I find it. Oh! You want to hear the list? Sure, go ahead. And I'm trying to remember how I get to that chainsaw. I think it was... Okay, flip that. Let's see. pretty sure the secret wall here is either timed or opens. Yeah, that's kind of how some of this stuff here works. Is sometimes you flip a switch, sometimes the switch is timed, sometimes it's permanent, and then sometimes you got to run across some invisible tile or something that activates it. Actually, it's okay. I have the Doom wiki here. I think I'll refer to that to find it. I know I have to do that to find the secret stages. Doom and Blood, my first ever games, playing them for 12 years. I know them very well. Yeah, I've played Doom plenty of times. The version I'm most familiar with is the PlayStation 1 version. This is basically the port for the 2024 Unity port for everything. Okay, so I have my map, or I have the map here. Let's see. Okay, it is in here somewhere. I just gotta remember. Blow that up. Just explode these barrels so I don't accidentally, blow it up myself, or some enemy pops out and destroys it. Continuously wall humping. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, according to the Doom Wiki, find it by shooting it. I'm not quite sure how you figure that out. There's nothing that really screams at it to say to shoot it. We flip that and we get a chainsaw. Find some meat, it said. This is the other melee weapon besides the fist. And fun fact, in Doom 3 they kind of, I just thought it was timed. So I managed to clip the wall. Yeah, well, I checked the Doom wiki. It says just shoot at the wall and it opens up. But for now, I'm going to stick with the trusty shotgun. Fun fact, in Doom 3, they kind of poked fun at the idea of there being a chainsaw on the Martian, on Phobos, because this is Mars, there's no plants here. In fact, the Martian moons are actually so small. Yeah, in Doom 3, they referenced that they were supposed to order jackhammers, but they ended up sending chainsaws instead. But realistically, Phobos and Deimos, the Martian moons, are actually so small that we wouldn't even... Realistically, you wouldn't even be able to have a place like this. They're so small that, one, they wouldn't be able to hold an atmosphere or gravity. Even artificially, they're just too small to do that. Apparently, if you were actually on Phobos, you could just jump and escape its gravitational pull that way. Oh. There's one more here. Yep. Okay, that's the end, but first I'm gonna Get that medikit, and then I'm gonna go pick up that soul sphere that I didn't pick up earlier. Because when it comes to the good stuff, like the soul sphere or the mega armor, you typically want to save those for the very end, if you can, so that when you go into the next stage, you have full health and full armor. Sometimes, particularly in the later stages, I know that it sometimes can be difficult to do so, but like if I was at 5 health and I saw this, I would just pick it up immediately, but early on, you just kind of want to save it until you are ready to finish the stage, if you can. Hey there, Jake. How you doing? I think it was this way. Yeah. Right, through here. Down here. And we finished the nuclear plant. 100% kills, 85% items, 83% secrets. Yeah, some of the secrets are really hard to find and pretty cryptic. But, doing about yourself? I'm doing good. Just showing off an old school first-person shooter, not the Call of Duty kind of shit that most people do nowadays. Anyway. Okay, city list here. Doom 2016, Arkham City, Legacy of Kain, Twisted Metal Black, Sleeping Dogs, Infamous, Final Fantasy VII. That's a good one. Blood, Dead Space 2, Fatal Frame, 40K, Oblivion, Tomb Raider 2013, Manhunt, Mass Effect, Parasite Eve, Silent Hill. That's a pretty good list of games, and some of them are pretty gruesome. But now we go to the Toxin Refinery. Okay, so first let's save. They have a few saves here, kind of playing around here. Oop. And of course, no sooner than you open the door, enemies come pouring out. Ugh. But on this stage, we get introduced to the Pinky Demon. One of the more annoying enemies. I think they're the only enemy in the game that doesn't have any kind of ranged attack. The zombie men and the shotgunners, they have only ranged attack. The Pinky has only a melee attack. And that black one there is a Spectre, which is just a Pinky with an invisibility effect. I remember in the PS1 version, they have what were called Nightmare Spectres, which had a similar effect, but also had double health. Alright. And I jibbed him. That's one of the cool things in Doom, is attacking an enemy enough that you can splatter them. They were a reference to the Doom 64 Nightmare Ibs. Actually, it was the other way around. The PlayStation 1 version of Doom came out first, and it had the Nightmare Pinkies. And then in Doom 64, which came out in 97, I think, it had Nightmare Imps, which were the stronger version that, like you said there, came back in Doom the Dark Ages. Oh. Okay, there's that. Yep, there's always enemies lurking around somewhere. Okay. There's that armor. Now, even though my armor is showing 63%, you don't want to necessarily pick up the green armor automatically. Weird. I thought Ultimate Doom came out before the PS1. Well, Ultimate Doom was basically just the retail version of Doom. When I started up, I said how Doom came out on basically everything. Hi there, Abdul. Yeah, it had the 4th episode. First time seeing you not playing retro. This is retro. This was 1993. So, yeah. Also, by my own, the way I define retro, I know everybody kind of has their own different definition of retro. The way I define it is a game that's 15 years or older. So this being 2026, by my definition, the earliest for retro would be 2011. And for reference, a game that hits that mark this year would be Skyrim. So, because it's the 15th anniversary, prepare for yet another Skyrim release, and probably another Oblivion release for its 20th anniversary this year. Oh, and the rocket launcher. An awesome weapon. You playing your games aside from these? Well, right now I just want to focus on retro stuff because it's stuff that I'm more familiar with and stuff that usually can be knocked out in 3 or 4 streams, if not less. But gotta be careful with the rocket launcher. It turns enemies inside out, and the player if you're not careful. How do I get this to drop down again? Let's see, do I... Okay, don't shoot it. Oh, there we go, I heard it. Let's see. Probably won't give Oblivion anything else after the remaster. Just push Skyrim. Much more bare bone game compared to, I guess, Morrowind and Oblivion. Yeah, but this is the 20th anniversary of Oblivion. And I know they did like a version of Oblivion for like its 5th anniversary, and I believe its 10th anniversary also. They also did a 10th anniversary for Skyrim. If they don't do those, the next one I see happening would be next year doing a remaster of Morrowind for its 25th anniversary. If we're talking about what makes the most sense, but this is Todd Howard we're talking about. He doesn't make sense. Oblivion got 2 releases. OG and EO9 Game of the Year. I could have sworn there were more than that. I distinctly remember picking up at a GameStop once I saw where it had like it was either a 5th anniversary or 10th anniversary edition of Oblivion, which was basically just the, Game of the Year edition, but, to mark the 10th anniversary. I don't know. Oh. I think this is a good chance to show off the rocket launcher. Yep, it basically jibs the zombies and one-shots most anything else at least in the early Doom stages. Also with Oblivion, I know that they're doing a Switch 2 release now for Oblivion, so that arguably could count as another edition. Let's do this here. Also, from what I understand here, if you see a sign that says poison, that basically means if you fall down, you're not getting back out. So be careful there. And as soon as I pick up that blue key, the room goes dark and imps show up. Because this game loves to throw shit like that at the player. Like, oh, a key. Oops, like, room went dark, and now you gotta navigate through darkness. Anyway, now I have the blue and yellow keys. Let me just check through here. Oh. I do like that sound effect, though, when you mow down, like, a bunch of shotgunners. Because when you kill them, they drop their shotgun. And then you pick it up and you hear that sound. But if you mow down, like, 7 or 8 at a time, and then you hear... and it just sounds cool to me. Okay, I know there's a way to activate something to go over there. A second here. Let's see here. So refinery. River. This game would never get old. Yeah, this is, yeah, it's one of those games that just, never gets old. Something, you know, before Grand Theft Auto, it's probably a game people played to let out a lot of steam, or let out frustration. Just load this up and, shoot some demons, and then, you know, you're golden. Yeah, that just, it taps into something into the human psyche. Also, hi, Inspector. How you doing? Still can't believe we were playing this back then. Yeah, it was quite a technical achievement for its time. Even though it's technically... Oh! Shit. Even though it's technically not... Like, the enemies are not 3D, they're sprites. Which you could tell because no matter what direction you face, they always face the camera. I remember thinking that was funny as a kid, even though I didn't fully understand that, you know, it's a 2D sprite, so no matter what direction you're facing, it's always going to look the same way. But... yeah, it gets straight yeah, this it gets straight to the point. That's why it's so fun. I mean, it's one word, Doom, and basically all you need to know is here's a weapon, shoot anything that moves. Okay, now computers. Okay, there's something here I need to find to find the quote-unquote secret exit. Both. If I enjoyed it, I enjoy something, I come back to it every few years. Yeah, I have that list of games that, although I know them inside and out, I still come back to every so often. You just get that, you get that itch to play something, and for a while you can ignore it, but after a while it's just, kind of takes up space in your brain and doesn't go away until you, play through it. Hold on here. What was it? Oh, it's down. It's over this way. Yeah, that's why some of these games survive for 20, 30, almost 40 years in some cases. Like with Doom, it has its modding community that has helped keep it alive for 30 odd years. Okay. Switch the passageway. Okay, yeah, it's but shit. Yeah, this is probably one of the few things that it kind of doesn't really hold up with Doom, is having to walk across some invisible tile or something. Because I'm trying to get through here, but according to the guide here, there's an invisible switch somewhere that basically have to cover. Even though I have the auto run set, I can't seem to move fast enough to get it. There we go. Okay, yes. Now, yes, through here. Okay, here's the backpack. Delivery driver. Yeah, I sort mortgages for a living. I sort them out and all that stuff. Being a delivery driver, I can imagine it's just tedious because of. Okay, here's the bridge. That. Okay, that's the exit. Or that's the exit for the secret level anyway. Let me just pick that up. here. Now this is the quote-unquote regular exit that'll take you to stage 4, but the one I've found is the one I'm going to do, which is for the quote-unquote secret level. I don't think you can really... Well, let me move the chat box here, because I can see what says E1 M3. There's a secret 9th stage in each episode that you find with a secret exit found in certain levels. And you'll know it's the secret one because it'll say stage 9 or level 9 or whatever. Oh, right, the stupid invisible thingy. So I gotta come down and grab this. And that's the toxin refinery. 94% kills. Secrets and items. And 18 minutes. And the par is 2 minutes. Whatever, I never really paid much attention to the par time anyway. I'm sure there's an achievement somewhere that involves completing either a stage or every stage in an episode under par. But I'm not big into that kind of stuff. Oh, hey, Timix, or... Hey, how you doing? Now we go to the secret stage of episode 1, Military Base. And to start, we have imps in a cage for some reason. Wait, who's shooting? What's up? Just playing some Doom. That's what I'm doing. Yes, kapow. Yellow key. And here's another trap. These enemies are teleporting in. Let's keep up the momentum. Oh. Anyone else spawning in? I think I heard an enemy... Yep. Yeah, I heard somebody tearing someone up. Though that's actually a relatively good strategy, is monster infighting. Because with so many enemies around, it's... Eventually, someone's gonna get caught in the crossfire, and you think the demons would be on the same side as each other, but if say, a pinky demon gets in the path of an imp's fireball, they're gonna turn around and start attacking that imp. Same with the shotgunners shooting someone, or most enemies getting attacked. It's a good strategy because it saves ammo, which later on you really got to stretch your ammo later. Okay, red key. Full health. Already killed most of the enemies. Let's see, is that the red one? Yes. Okay, let's flip that and not blow up the barrels. Actually, this could be a good chance to show off the chainsaw, because since the pinky demons have no ranged attack, they're typically the ones you mow down with the chainsaw. Got the blue key now. I think that's actually the first stage where we have all 3 colors of key. Okay, I need armor real bad. Anyway, that's, right there, yeah, see how it says E1 M9? When it says M9, that's a secret stage. Oop. Right. Ah. Yes, and fortunately we auto-aim, here, because there's no, like, you know, pointing the rifle up and down, unless you have, like, a mod for it. Okay, there's the armor. That's good. One of these should trigger something, I think. There's this one. Oh, shit. Chainsaw. Okay. Oh, secret area. Bullets. pick up those rockets. But nope. Shit. Oh, whatever. I basically have full shotgun shells anyway, and can only hold one chainsaw. Though, admittedly, dual-wielding chainsaws would be pretty badass, and something I could totally see Doomslayer doing. I'm sure there's a mod that does that. Doom has a mod for everything. There's the exit, but, let's save here. Just for good measure. Oh. Okay. Reload. Okay, I really needed those stim packs, and and I may have screwed myself here, but please tell me there's some medikits somewhere. I really need them. I'll shoot that just because. Okay, health bonuses, those are okay. Oh. Okay, all the enemies are dead. Yep. So when your health is, I think, below either 25 or 30%, and you pick up a medikit, it'll say, picked up a medikit that you really need. Which is hilarious. There's another secret somewhere that, since there's no more enemies, probably has either a good weapon or like a soul sphere or something. Let's run across this. Okay, I know it took some damage, but going into the next stage with 50% health is a lot better than going in with 25. Oh. Okay. I can use all that. where's the exit? I know I saw it. Oh, stim pack. That's nice. Okay. There's that. The military base is done. Missed a few items, but that's okay. Yeah. Okay, now to command control. If we didn't take the secret exit in 1-3, yeah, E1, M3, this is where we would have ended up. And we got these guys, of course. Mow them down. Dumbass. Damn it. Yeah, thankfully the fireballs are objects that we can strafe around. Not so much with the zombie men and shotgunners attacks. Those are hit scan. Doomslayer may be, you know, tough guy, but he can't outrun bullets. Oof, almost dead. Just noticed. That's another thing here. You get so caught up in the bloodlust, you kind of forget that you're not invincible. Pick that up, and that up. Not sure what that unlocked. I think I got everybody. Okay, yep, blue key. If you suddenly had a month off, what would you guys do? Well, I have a week off, which is... I do what I'm doing now, except instead of streaming for a whole week, it would be for a whole month. So I'd probably travel somewhere. Well, if actually maybe I would travel a little bit. I don't know. I don't really, not really a travel type of guy. Probably stay home for a week first. I think it would kind of depend on what's going on, like in my area at the time, in terms of what I could do. Like I know recently, in the VTuber sphere, there was Offkai, which is some type of VTuber convention. I've never been to one, um, mainly because one, I wouldn't have enough time off of work to go to one, and two, I probably wouldn't be able to afford it anyway. I don't know how much the admission fee is for conventions, but even if the ticket in is only like $10, all the merchandise would eat up my money very quickly. Okay, yeah. Yep, and more enemies. Plow them down. A medikit that I really need. And by the way, this fun fact, originally this funky thing here originally was supposed to be a swastika, as because you know Nazis are evil, and as a callback to Wolfenstein 3D, but apparently people, due to risk of controversy, they changed it to this weird shape. Because, you know, that symbol is just completely forbidden now. Wait, I heard something. Oh. And I just triggered all the enemies in that area. I'm stupid. Kind of forget that when you go into an area, the enemies are kind of initially unaware of you, but the moment you fire off a weapon, every enemy in a room wakes up and then they start hunting you down. Boom. On the one hand, I know where I need to go, but on the other hand, I have so little health that one hit will probably take me down. Fuck it, we ball. Actually, I think I'm gonna want to stick with the chain gun simply for the fact that it more or less guarantees stun locking it. Oh. Yeah, well, this is fun. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna save there and wait, why is it that's weird. Showing 1:44 a.m. On my thing here, even though my computer is showing it's 9:45 in the evening. Ow. Oh, shit. And I'm out of bullets. But not out of options. Okay, 5 enemies left. And if I had to guess, they're in that area somewhere. Okay, one more enemy left, and then I'm effectively safe. Just gonna pick up all these things. Actually, I think I know where the last enemy is. It's going to require backtracking through basically a wall of, or through a river of slime. If I can get my way through here. Okay, there's the exit, but I know there's some goodies somewhere that I really need to pick up. If I recall correctly, it's back where that river of slime is. Okay, let's save here. Now let's go this way first. Actually, no, let's yeah, nah. Shit. Pick all this stuff up. That switch is a one-time thing, and it won't go back down. I think if I go this way, I find either Mega Armor or just a way back. Alright, good enough. Phew. In the meantime, let me 14 minutes, that wasn't too bad. Though the par is of 130. Now we enter the Phobos lab. So let's take care of these guys before they get too close. Ow. And he blew himself up. Over here. The yellow key. Yeah, that miscolored texture shows a secret, but I'm gonna save that for later. For now, And I'm pretty sure I jibbed most of them. Yeah, I love doing that with the barrels, where you shoot the barrel, it explodes, and when a weak enemy is nearby, they turn to giblets. This game also basically codified the term gibs in terms of, you know, splattering enemies. Okay, that's not okay. Yep. Walked on the damn, toxic waste. Even though realistically, I think just being this close to toxic waste would probably give a person enough radiation poisoning to kill them. Wouldn't need to actually walk on it. And he's doing the running man. Box of shells, that's good. Then, oh, yeah. Frickin' monster closets, as I think they're unofficially called. I don't know. I think it's just supposed to be a room full of enemies, but people have dubbed them monster closets. Wait. Let's go down. Down. Yep, I love that sound where you pick up like 7 shotguns at once. Okay, there's a stim pack. Here. I don't know, there's another stim pack. I think, medikit. Okay, there's a radiation suit. That... First, let's, blow that up for good measure. And, run and kind of let the chaos unfold. Alright, go up here for that box of bullets. Here for the mega armor. Alright, let's see, 52% health. Alright, there's that. Alright. More stim packs and shotguns. So I'm sure the Doom guy is badass enough that he could basically dual wield almost all these weapons, really. Hearing something growling. All right. Oof, almost run low on health. Okay, come on, Spectre. I shouldn't be able to see you, but I can see you. Right, pick the key, and that. Let's flip that switch. That just brings us out here. That's a dark area. Very dark. Yeah, and that helps this strobe lighting, I guess, or not strobe light, but the fact that everything goes pitch black and whatnot kind of helps with the atmosphere of the game being super scary. Also doesn't help I can't see these specters are hard to see even in light, so... Right. Oh, these guys down. Okay, there's the exit, but... Okay, all the enemies are dead, so... Can walk around and not get ambushed. There's that. Okay, medikit that I really need. Another medikit in a secret area. And then this, probably the rarest of Doom's power-ups. Light amplification visor. See, we can now see everything in here. Gives us 2 minutes of you know, instant of max lighting. So now I'm going to pick up this radiation suit. That green tint shows you the radiation suit is in effect. With that, we can walk on the toxic waste without getting damaged, which is good for this. Find a mega armor, rocket launcher, some rockets, medikits, and it all comes full circle. Certainly more interesting than Call of Duty games, where it's just basically 4 or 5 hallways. Oh, and more secrets. That's invisibility, much like the specters have. It makes it so enemies have a harder time hitting us. Well, they can still hit you if you're up close, but it throws off their accuracy, basically. I know there's something else here. Oh, it just takes us here, and before that, oh, and you can see the amplification stuff is fading. So let's just save for good measure, and Phobos Lab is done. And this one was 14 minutes. That seems to be about the average for me doing a stage is about 15 minutes. Now we go to central processing. Oh, come on. Yeah, the shotgun shoots basically 7 pellets that have a bit of a spread. That's part of the RNG where sometimes an enemy will go down in 2 shotgun blasts, sometimes it goes down in 1. Kind of depends how close you are. If you're right up next to an enemy, all those pellets will hit. If you're far away, only a couple of them will hit. And, yeah, this is a nightmare waiting to happen. We got boxes of bullets, chain gun, more boxes of bullets. Which, you know, anytime they give you a huge cache of ammo, be prepared. Just want to pick up the red key. Ah. This happens. But it's okay, because with this many enemies bunched together, inevitably they hit one another. And they start turning on one another. So there are... I don't know if anyone's familiar with the YouTuber Decino, but he has plenty of videos on the mechanics of Doom, which includes stuff like monster infighting, jibbing enemies, power-ups, weapons, enemy breakdowns, and even a tier list for most annoying enemies for a nightmare run. Anyone else? Oh, there's one. There always seems to be a couple enemies that kind of get stuck on corners here. Not that you really get much for other than, like, satisfaction or bragging rights for getting, like, 100% kills, items, and secrets. But if you're backtracking, sometimes an enemy will get stuck. And if that happens, a surprise you get a surprise. Okay, 3 medkits and 3 boxes of shotgun shells. Keep that in mind. Oh, shit. Blue card. I think everything's done there. Just shoot the barrel because. Yes, and although the barrel technically doesn't count as an enemy, it has hit points. It has 20 hit points like the zombie man. Which is why sometimes if you go at it with a pistol, sometimes it can take a few shots to set it off. Also, the Pinky Demons, I think, have 150 health. Same with the Spectres, which is just the Pinky with a invisibility effect. And... nope. You can die. Meanwhile, that Spectre's doing the running, man. I need a yellow key. Yep. Okay, gotta find that yellow key. It'll be somewhere behind this blue door. Oh. Oh. There's another annoyance of the Spectres, because you can barely see them. Sometimes the auto-aim can screw you over if you're using the rocket launcher, because it'll get right up in your face, and it'll blow yourself up. And then we hear this bunch of armor bonuses that make the shape of an arrow. If you couldn't tell from the misaligned texture. We get the computer area map, which here in the map here, it'll show the entire map in this, whatchamacallit. The areas in gray are where we haven't been. So it can, on the stages that have the computer map, it can really help you with trying to find your way around. Ooh. Oh. I guess I'm full on. That Pinky Demon's acting as a wall for us. Oh. And these specters. Anyone else? Alright. Medikits. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, shit. Oh. Okay, radiation suit. Secret area. And these guys. Can I, okay, I can't go back that way. I like that splatter sound. Very satisfying, because it tells you that you jibbed an enemy. I wanted to... Hey! Assholes. Flip that. see, do I have an armor? Should be... Okay, there's armor, that's helpful. We go over here. Radiation suit. And mega armor. And a secret. Light amplification goggles. Invisibility. Yeah, Doom Guy's pretty pimped out right now. Another radiation suit. And rip and tear with the chainsaw. Rip and tear. Splattered. Let's this. Fire a couple rockets and then stun lock the rest with the chain gun. Suppose if I didn't blow up the barrels, I could have used those as well, but I don't want to risk of accidentally blowing myself up. Oh. And more ripping and tearing. Rip and tear until it's done. And people thought that started with Doom 2016. I can see some of you fuckers moving out there. Come walk right into my blade. Anyone else? Okay, appointment with the chainsaw. Going once, going twice. There we go. Is there any, I see a couple armor bonuses. Okay, I think I'm good. A few more bonuses, just because. Okay, 19 minutes, that's fine. Go to computer station, which I believe is the E1 M7, so basically the penultimate stage of episode 1. And it is a doozy. Oh. And there we go. Yellow key, medkit. I think I got them. Who the fuck? fact I can pick them off through that window at least means I can clear them out before I get there later. That's good. I see a soul sphere. I kind of forget how to get to that right now. Matter, let's... Oh. God damn it. He was waiting for me. I know, because he shot me as soon as I opened the door. Boom. See, I think there should be a switch up here somewhere. Or not. Okay, I think I cleared all of them away. I don't know, the rocket launcher does pretty decent damage due to the splash damage that means you don't have to be 100% accurate. Just hitting within the proximity is usually enough. So there is that. Oh. Come up here. Haven't saved in a while, so let's save. Especially since this area kind of a safe spot since enemies can't get us until we hit the switch here. Oh, damn it. Okay, we got all these armor bonuses here, because... I think there's one guy still alive in here somewhere. Or not. we go. Bonuses and med kits. I find the concept of the bonus items pretty funny. I know that originally they were supposed to be like treasure that you would find like in Wolfenstein 3D, but then I think they later got changed to the health and armor bonuses. But you know, the idea of Doom Guy having like 20 helmets on his head or something is pretty funny. Because that's what the armor bonus is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a helmet or something. Likewise with the health bonuses, they're supposed to be some kind of demon potion or something. I don't know. He can go above... They allow him to go above 100%, so... There has to be some kind of magic element to it. I don't know, it's just funny. Okay, there's that soul sphere. Despite the fact that I'm sure Doom Guy is more than agile enough he could just climb through this stuff, we can't do that. I see an imp acting up there. Oh, and he's dead. Which is good. Ah. Damn it. Okay, red key. Just need to get that blue one. Nope. Shit. We're gonna go over here, get that radiation suit. Secret area. With some med kits and whatnot. That's how we get the soul sphere. Okay, I gotta find how to get my way out of here. Ow. Oh, never mind. Just step on the spot and it opens up for us. You know, like those whatchamacallits at those automatic doors at the grocery store. You step on that little black square and then the door opens. Of course, if you're part of the Beautiful People's Club, the door will open anyway, even if you don't step on the little square. So, more shotguns. Let's see. I should be able to get to that. I forget how to get to that door, but let's see. Maybe there's a way up here. I know, but Yeah. Okay, yeah, now I can, I have all 3 keys now. Time to go stop Metal Gear, effectively. Box of shells. I think about shells reminds me of, like, whenever I hear shells, the first thing that comes to my mind is the Velveeta shells and cheese stuff. I don't have any of that, but I do have regular boxes of macaroni. Maybe I'll make one of those after stream. Fuck. Okay, 4 shells. I could use a computer map right about now. There's a chainsaw. If we somehow didn't get it before or died and lost it. I hear commotion upstairs even though it's 10:45. What the hell's going on up there? Okay, here's the blue door. Boom. Ah. Yeah, that leads to the exit. Just double check for anything. Oh. Damn it. My armor was nice, and then you had to... Oh, wait, never mind. It's nice again. Except I'm gonna have to ruin that in order to get that stupid button. Gotcha. Yep. That's how weak some of these enemies are, is the shotgun can blow down like 2 or 3 in a single shot if you time it right. And computer station done. Fuck. Took 17 minutes. Right. 3 minutes par. Whatever. And with that, now we go to the final stage of episode 1, Phobos Anomaly. This is gonna go well. That was hilarious. See, here we get box of bullets, even though I'm full up on bullets and shells. But we also get the computer map for this area. Okay, there's misaligned texture. And we mow them down. Here we have a chain gun and 4 boxes of bullets. We have a shotgun and 3 boxes of shells. Not to mention there was a box of bullets up there and like a dozen stim packs. Yeah, that's kind of your hint that some deep shit is about to go down. But first we're gonna take this. And here come the specters. I'm not gonna try best to stay on this little bit here. And just let the specters come to you as you rip and tear through them with a chainsaw. I can barely see some of those guys over there. Okay, I think I got all of them. And it's where we stay away, because as soon as we step past this red area, got the Barons of Hell. Also, I missed a few specters. Anyway, the Barons are basically giant meat shields. They have 1,000 hit points. Why am I taking damage from this guy? Oh, and those green fireballs hurt a lot. And they can claw you if they get too close. But if you conserve rockets like I did, they're not that bad. You can see you just kind of move around. Take about 15 shotgun blasts or 5 rockets. There's one Baron down. And there's the other. Oh, shit! If you accidentally hit those barrels, and, if I was any closer, I would have been blown to Kingdom Come. And all these bullets, because they take about 100 bullets if you do the chain gun route. And then I think it's about 15 shotgun blasts, 5 rockets. About 10 or 11 seconds with the chainsaw. But given how much damage they do, it's not worth trying to take them out with the chainsaw. We have a big old empty area here. I know there's a way back up on this thing. I forget how. But it doesn't matter because, considering what's coming next, go in with 200 health and 200 armor, and it wouldn't matter. Okay, note here how we have 26 out of 41 enemies dead. Go through this flashing thing. And... ah! Oh, and I'm dead. Don't worry, that was supposed to happen. The game throws you for a loop and throws you in a room full of invisible... well, not invisible, but a dark room full of enemies and a damaging floor. And once your health drops below, I believe, 11%, once it hits single digits, the stage automatically ends. That's it for Phobos Anomaly and Episode 1 of Doom. Once you beat the big badasses and clean out the moon base, you're supposed to win, aren't you? Aren't you? Where's your fat reward and ticket home? What the hell is this? It's not supposed to end this way. It stinks like rotten meat, but looks like the lost demo space. Looks like you're stuck on the shores of hell. The only way out is through. To continue the Doom experience, play The Shores of Hell and its amazing sequel, Inferno. Yes, and if this were the shareware version, somewhere along the lines there'd be a mailing address or a phone number to call to send in information to get those other 2 episodes. Of course, we live in the future of 2026, where not only is there a 4th episode, but there's basically countless fan-made Doom maps and Doom WADs and whatnot to turn Doom into literally anything. One of the more popular ones as of late is Brutal Doom, which basically turns the blood and gore up all the way to 11. Fortunately, I'm not quite sure how to install Doom mods or whatever myself, so that's why I have the Unity port that I have on my Switch too. Because, anyway, now let's press a button to continue and get the credits. John Carmack, Mike Resch, John Romero. Designers, Sandy Peterson and American McGee. Funny name. Biz support. Special thanks to, and then credits for episode 4. Right, and that was the first episode of Doom. Just a second, I have to respond to this message. Alright then. Alright, let's get going now again. New game. So clear Knee Deep in the Dead. So now we're on to episode 2, The Shores of Hell. And again, we're choosing skill levels. I go with Ultraviolence. Nightmare... Well, funny thing is, Nightmare was originally not in Doom originally. It was added as basically a response to fans of Doom writing into id Software saying that, hey, Ultraviolence is... the game's too easy, even on Ultraviolence difficulty. We want challenge. At which point, John Romero, one of the main programmers, basically said, okay, you're all dead then. And basically instituted Nightmare as a way to shut those people up. Of course, in the 30 years since, people have done things like speedrunning Nightmare, 100% items and secrets on Nightmare. 100% kills is not really possible, because the thing with Nightmare is enemies will respawn after a while. Yeah, the thing that makes Nightmare different from Ultraviolence is enemies respawn after a while, so when you're backtracking, enemies that you killed will probably be back by then. Also, enemy projectiles, like the imp fireballs, move much faster. The pinkies move at basically double speed. And also no cheat codes, also no id cheats allowed. The only saving grace you get is double ammo, which you need to deal with all the enemies. But anyway, if we just pick Nightmare here with oh, wait. Nope. When I picked that, it was supposed to be a message that pops up that says, "Are you sure? This difficulty isn't even remotely fair." And then you pick yes or no to go, but... yeah, anyway, Ultraviolence. And if we move chat here for a second... it's E2M1, Episode 2, Map 1, Deimos Anomaly. Also, because this technically counts as starting over, we don't have any of the weapons from Episode 1, so we're back to just the pistol to start with. I think it was actually one of the advantages to the PS1 version of Doom, which basically treated the game as one continuous campaign. So anything that carried over from Phobos Anomaly would carry over here to Deimos Anomaly, and every stage after. And going through this upside down cross thing was what hurt me. I guess it has some kind of demonic influence. Oh. Okay, we've got our first shotgun. But, I want to stick with the pistol until I get at least a few more shells. Okay, I think it's time to swap to the shotgun. Ow. Shit. Okay, back to wall humping. Okay, box of shells and armor. Fortunately, as we move across the things, it dips into this river of... I think it's supposed to be a river of blood. There's a... Okay, let's do that. And this thing pops up. Switch 1, switch 2, switch 3 in like 2037. And, okay, I don't know why it's showing a different time for... Well, let me, yeah, on my Switch here it's showing 11 o'clock, but when I go into save, it's showing saved at like 3 in the morning. Through here. Let's pick these pinky demons off. I think the actual name is just... I think the actual name for them is just demon. But they're called pinkies because they're, well, pink. Though internally they all have certain names to them. Like the imp internally is called MT underscore troop, which basically means monster troop, as in like trooper. And the pinky demons, I think, are called Sergeant. Some more stuff from the, supposed Doom Bible that was supposed to flesh out the story, but... It's a crap load of bonuses, for what that's worth. Oh, shit. Oh. Gotta be careful here. Now, one thing that kind of gets glanced over here is there is a thing called telefragging, where basically if you teleport right on top of an enemy, or an enemy teleports right on top of you, it's insta-death. As in, it does... In terms of calculating damage, it does 10,000 points worth of damage. And even God mode doesn't save you from that. Which just goes to show how terrifying telefragging is when the God mode doesn't save you from it. Computer map, mega armor. Skip over the river of blood. At least I think that's supposed to be blood. I know, the damaging floors technically have 3 levels of damage. First is what's called nukage. Then there's Hell Slime and Super Hell Slime. Internally, the nukage does 5%. I think it's 5% damage. Hell Slime does 10, and Super Hell Slime does 20. Can't really tell just by looking at the color what it's supposed to be. You just kind of have to run across and guess. Because in episode 1, there was just green stuff that was supposed to be like toxic waste. This, I think, is supposed to be like a pool of blood. Presumably demon blood, and since it hurts us. But then some stages have stuff that looks like sewage water or molten lava that does a lot more damage than just regular toxic waste. Oh. And we're introduced to everybody's favorite big red boy, the Cacodemon. A giant floating tomato. It has 400 hit points, so be prepared to shoot it a lot. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, and just as I run out of shells. Fan-frickin-tastic. And that's Demos Anomaly. The hell? Okay. And that one only took almost 9 minutes. And as you can see, the map is different now. Before we were on Phobos, and now we're on Deimos, which is the other moon of Mars. Okay, let me check something here. Okay, and now we're going to the containment area. Save here. Let's this here. Oh. Health bonus. Let's flip that. I'm almost out of bullets. That's okay because we have here this black med kit, which is actually a berserk. And what the berserk does is, one, it boosts your health all the way up to 100 if it's less than that. And it ups the power of the Doom Guy's punch by 10-fold. So when we punch these imps out, we have a decent chance of splattering them. See here. Oh. Normally it would take a few punches to knock out the imps, but with this we can not only take them out in one punch, we can also jib them. Okay, it's not working, or I got shitty aim. Okay. The clip. It's magazine. Yeah, what? Fuck that. It says clip, I'm gonna call it clip. Or I'll make it a running gag where something that says clip, I'll just refer to as magazine, and vice versa. Because you know those assholes on the internet where they say something like, I'm actually, okay, look. I know I'm American, but that doesn't mean I know everything about guns, okay? I've never actually fired a gun myself in real life. I don't have an NRA membership, so I'm not going to be one of those people who knows everything about a gun, so... And I don't think a lot of other people do either, so... Yeah. It's a bit dangerous, but it is satisfying to jib the imps by punching them. You basically become One Punch Man. Only with hair. Let's see, should be... something. It was that door, but we need the yellow key. Boop, boop. Stim packs. Oh. And we can one-shot the pinky demons as well. If RNG is in our favor. Also, the Berserk can be a bit confusing to new players because when you pick it up, the screen turns bright red. But after a while, that red goes away. That doesn't mean the Berserk wears off. The Berserk lasts for the entire level. But given how, the radiation suit turns the screen green, but then when the screen stops being green, the radiation suit wears off. It kind of leaves people to think the same thing with the Berserk, but nope, it lasts for the entire level or till we die. And given how early they give it to you and how little ammo you start with, the developers basically intend for you to, well, rip and tear until it's done. So, yeah. Okay, we need a blue key. We have... Yeah, they kind of censored some of the artwork here. I'm pretty sure that design's supposed to be like a pentagram. But I think they altered it for this release. Because, you know, God forbid people get offended. People were offended when this shit came out back in '93, and basically the response from the developers was, you know, be mad. Let's see. Okay, there's a stairway. Let's, oh, never mind. Just gonna try to blow up that barrel. So we got, oh, box of shells. So we're back in business there. Pick the med kit. I think there was another. Nope, that's just the barrels. So all these UAC boxes, I'm guessing this is where Amazon in like 200 years will put all their stuff. Instead of keeping it in a warehouse on Earth, they just keep it in a warehouse on Deimos. Wait, I think I mentioned it at the beginning, but in case I didn't, UAC means United Aerospace Corporation. It's supposed to be like some mega conglomerate that basically runs the world. Okay, I think I can go where those stairs were now. Shall we wait a second? Okay, there's... Damn it. Yeah, that switch doesn't do anything. Or it's already activated. Oop. Stim packs and clips. These flashing things count as damaging floors, so don't hang around on them. According to Decino, who's a YouTuber who basically knows this game inside and out, his theory as to why that's a damaging floor is that, and the flashing effect is, his theory is that Doom Guy's being electrocuted. Oh shit. A med kit. Oh, roughly half the enemy's dead. Right. More imps. We just keep wall humping, basically. Ah! Ow. Shit. Okay, please tell me there's some health here somewhere that I didn't pick up. Damn it. Let's pick up the armor, just for good measure, even though with my health in the single digits, I don't think it matters. Oh, 1%. Shit. I gotta be real fucking careful. As I walk right into a frickin' fireball. Okay, stim pack. A medikit that I really need. Okay, now we're making our way back. We're out. We're slowly coming back. And based on this little pattern here, over the pool of blood. Unfortunately, the pinky demons do not get jibbed. The only enemies that get jibbed are the zombie man, the shotgunner, the imp, and in Doom 2, the chain gunner. So technically any enemy can be reduced to a pile of blood if they get stuck in like a door or a crushing ceiling, which this stage introduces. But now I have that yellow key. Let's go back here and find out what the hell is hidden here. Chain gun. We can use that. Ow. Ow. Medkit. Bullets. Chain gun. But for now, we'll stick with the box, or stick with the one punch. Fuck. Okay, going through here should have... One of these should have a secret, or should have something in it. Okay, not that one. I think it's this one. Yep. Shit. Oh yeah, if you punch the walls, creates a puff of smoke. Box of shells. Shitload of health bonuses. And armor bonus. One armor bonus. Let's save before we go through this river of slime. And it's just a freaking trap. Okay, don't go in the river of slime. Okay, is there anything... Fuck. Okay, nothing here. Stim pack. Oh. Okay, well, there's... Oh! Shh. It splattered. And splattered. There's regular armor. I want to save that mega armor if I can. Oh, shit! Yep, crushing ceilings. Do not get stuck under them. Fortunately, enemies who get stuck under it will take damage and get crushed as well. So that's actually pretty decent strategy if you can try to bait them into it. And they get reduced to a pile of giblets. Any enemy actually gets reduced to giblets if they get crushed. They cut off their scream as well. Okay, there's the blue key. Bunch of stim packs. And a red key. Haven't seen any red doors, though. Oh, there's a red door. Oh, I saw the mega armor somewhere back here. Okay, I think I got all of those. Okay, where was that mega armor? Okay, there that is. I could use with some health, though. Okay, there's some health. Stim pack. Energy cell pack. Which is 100 energy cells. And we get the plasma rifle. We didn't actually see this in episode 1, so... Anyway, basically a chain gun, but faster and more intense. Problem is, it burns through ammunition so quickly that, you know, you're gonna run out very fast. Ah, shit! Okay, save here. Okay, stim packs. Ah! See, I might want to use the plasma gun just to one, show it off, but also wipe these guys out very fast. Get the chainsaw. And the most annoying enemy in the game, the Lost Souls. They're annoying in that they charge at you and... yeah, they charge at you and do a lot of damage, and... particularly annoying when you have the rocket launcher, because they'll get right up in your face, the rocket will go off, and you explode. Yeah. So here. Okay, I think I got everyone, or enough. Alright. That's the containment area finished. 25 minutes. Damn. Well, we've come to episode 3, Refinery. First, let me get to a safe spot first. A lot of enemies here, but I did get a berserk, so I should be able to punch the rest of these guys out. Ow. Okay, shells. Stim packs. Box of rockets, but I don't have a rocket launcher. Yet. Okay, that opens something. Okay, I think that's all we have here in this room. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna end it here for today. It was a pretty good stream. Got through a good chunk of Doom. First, let's save. And I'm gonna end game. Let's see who can raid here. Okay, well, I see a guy doing Halo, so one so basically one FPS to another. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And from there, we'll continue Doom and um, whatever else we come across. So till then, this is Jack Red VT. Ride the wind.